What is up, you guys? Today we are painting Deadpool. Now, Deadpool is from the Marvel Universe. He's one of my favorite characters, and we're just gonna get right into it. So, starting out with most of my paintings, I block out the image. And blocking out the image pretty much means we're painting out the silhouette of that character. I'm studying the image, making sure that where the eyes belong and where the head goes, any kind of shoulder, and then filling it in, right? So I'm blocking out the image, and since we're working with gel, I'm gonna do 2 coats, and just to get a really nice, clean, opaque red in there. Once I've gotten that, then I can go in and start blocking out the eyes. And so it's the same concept. I just want to have the colors laid out where they need to go so that I don't have to go back over it so many times, right? So once we've gotten the black laid out here, then we can start adding in some of the lowlights. And I'm using the same black that I already had on my brush, especially for those really dark areas. And if I feel like I need to dilute it a little bit, which you're gonna see a lot on this right side of his face, I will use some gel top coat and dilute some of that black, right? So now instead of having a super opaque black, I have kind of like a smoky black, and that smoky black will give me a bunch of different tones of black, and it's just gonna change up that color a little bit over that red, right? So it's gonna give me some really good low lights. I'm gonna add in a nose here, and we have the line for his neck and everything already going on. So once we've gotten both of those and a lot of those low lights, I switch my brush. I'm using a much finer brush here, and I'm adding some of those little thread lines in Deadpool's costume. I think that's what makes him really stand out, is the really small details, right? Having those little details makes a huge difference in your overall look of whatever you're painting. So when we're doing the body here, I'm not so focused on it. I'm just kind of getting those lines in there. I don't really care too much for it. I just want to make sure I have something. Okay, now when it comes to adding highlights to the eyes, what I'm doing here is I'm using a gray, and I'm adding in spots that are super light in the painting. And after I've gotten those laid out, what I end up doing here is I take my no wipe top coat and I'm watering it down again, right? I do this a lot in my nail art. You guys will see it throughout all my videos. I like to water down my top coat after I've already laid out the color, and then do those little blends, right? And I think it makes a big difference. Now I'm going to use my white just to do Deadpool's eyes, and it's still the same tiny little brush. Here, I am going to take that same brush again, but I'm adding texture to Deadpool's mask, right? So it's these little hash marks, kind of like little X's everywhere, and I'm using my brush super dry. And what that means is I'm not really loading up a lot of gel on my brush, but yet it's very little, and it's a dry brush, right? So now we're gonna be able to see all the brush strokes in the mask, and it's gonna look kind of like that textured look that you would get with fabric. Now again, I'm going back and I'm adding more highlights to the eye area, and then of course we always go back with some of that top coat and blend it down. Once I've gotten that, now I'm adding some highlights to the nose area and some of the forehead as well, just so that he really starts to pop. And that's how we're gonna get those different dimensions, right? Once we've gotten Deadpool pretty much finished up, we can start doing our background. Here I'm using a really nice shade of blue, and I like to use a medium tone. That way I can add in low lights and highlights to the background as well. I start off with using some highlights with white, and then a darker shade of blue just around that top area to low light it a little bit. Okay, and now I'm going back in, outlining the top of the head here with just straight white. And again, you guys see me do this so many times, using top coat, diluting that white, blending it in with the blue. And I think it just adds a nice little shade there, right? So you can use it still wet, or you can really dry it out. Now, I'm finishing this off with the no wipe top coat, and let's see how it looks. I hope you guys like it. Remember to subscribe, click the thumbs up button, it really helps me out. We put in a lot of work to these videos, so please subscribe and please click the like button.